Do you feel like your communication is just blowing in the wind? Just maybe it'll land with somebody. You're really hoping for an answer. You're really hoping that it takes root. It fosters. It creates a dialogue more than just, yeah, well, okay, whatever. How many times have you had a conversation with a loved one or with a colleague, and it just like the phone that in their hands has taken over? They've become the robot to the phone. Hard at work, right? As in my years of banking and in nonprofit groups, leading people, communication is at the root, but we struggle so hard with it. You look at some of the interviews that are happening, maybe in a debate, maybe in some of the one-on-one interviews that have happened that are broadcast on morning TV and various times during the day. We just don't really want to answer the questions. We're really preoccupied with getting our points across. So it's about our agenda and not the other person's agenda. We fail to get curious about the other person. What is going on in their mind? As a leader, it's important that we understand what's going on in our team members' minds. What are they bringing in? And how can we get the most out of them? How can we help them get the resources they need and help them be productive members of the team? And it replays throughout government, replays through business, replays through community organizations, replays through our daily conversations with people that we know. So there's various things out there that talk about listening, but as I was looking at this, I brought it all together for you, and this is the way I've been looking at listening levels for a good part of my coaching time, and really helping people in one-on-one coaching and in my growth circles to really understand communication again, to understand the basics, so that we can grow and go beyond. It says, we should be active listeners. Well, what does that mean? So I've really identified 4 steps. I want to share those with you real briefly here. Level 1's disconnected. We're really physically present, but we're mentally absent. Our phone is an occupant. Might be something that's passing by. We might get out of the corner of our eye. We're looking at somebody else passing by. We're not listening to the person next to us. A little higher up from that is aware. And we're aware of the other person. We may be looking at them, but at times we're kind of like dropping the ball, and then we'll circle back to the conversation. We're just maybe bored with what they're saying, or they just go on and on and on. Sometimes I just go on and on and on, and people are rolling their eyes. When is he going to get to the point that I can respond? Because sometimes we're so anxious to just respond with what we have. So we give minimal responses and acknowledgements. We're not fully vested. And from there, if we continue to grow and get to that point of really being an active listener, we're engaging with the speaker. We're verbally and non-verbally giving off that we're active. We're really there. We're there with the person. We're there wanting to learn, or we're wanting to understand their message. We're responding thoughtfully. We're waiting for what they are talking about. Want to share what's their story, what their concern is, their problem, so that we can respond in like mind. We're connecting on the first level, really. Even though this is level 3, this is really the first level that we're really connecting with them. Level 4 So we go from just active and maybe acknowledging the person and engaging with them and really understanding, maybe a little bit more in that first 4 seconds that we assess where that person is coming from, even though haven't heard a word from them. Uh, we're checking on those verbal cues and those nonverbal cues. What's their body language? How are they coming in? Are they mad? Did they just get their wrong order that they depended on us to get right, and they wanted to tell us about it. So we go to empowered, where we're understanding the speaker's words, we're validating their emotions. Here's where we pull in the emotions, where the underlying feelings, and we're building rapport and trust on a greater level. This is about the stepping forward out of us, out of our message, out of us selling something to the other person, because our script says we need to, as soon as we ask them how the weather is, we need to move into our script and sell them whatever we're told that we need to sell, because our job depends on it. But with empowered, we're starting to set it aside and say, hey, what's going on in your life? You don't, this is really a good cue for a leader. If someone's coming in showing signs of being sad and saying, hey, something's changed. What's going on? Tell me. And you just pause and let that person relay what's going on. Maybe you need to, just ease into the conversation a little bit. But by and large, they want to just be heard. And this is putting your side and saying, okay, I understand. This is a point of being empathetic, being empathic, really kind of feeling what they're feeling. Not sympathy, but being more connected and more concerned about the other person, not just giving them, you feel sorry, I'm feeling sorry for you. This is more, hey, how can I make a difference? How can I lift you up? How can I give you a word of encouragement? What can I do to really connect with you and build this rapport and trust, understand their feelings, relay those feelings back to them and saying, hey, there is something. There's something that I can do for you. There was a story not too long ago of a Verizon customer care agent who received a call from a female customer, a woman older in age, and she had just lost her husband. And the customer care agent realized that this woman really didn't have a need about her phone, about connection. She just wanted to be sharing the grief that she was feeling at that moment. So the agent sat with her, listened to her, said, "Yeah, I understand what loss might feel like," and not putting her story in, but really just listening to that lady explain what was going on, the grief that she was feeling, and by the end, she walked away with feeling heard, feeling that somebody cared, even though nothing was done to change phone plans or anything like that. But it was just a moment of understanding and caring of another person, just really being there for that other person. And finally, level 5, I've seen firsthand influential. This is transformative. This is seeking meaningful change. So when you get to the point of listening to people and understanding them and validating their emotions and their feelings and building this rapport and trust, then you can sit across from them and become speaker and listener. You create this deep connection. You create this safe space. So in all of this and all we see, I think the most important part here is, first off, we'll cover in more detail each of these levels, but for you right now, What are you going into? Ask it if it's the beginning of the day when you see this. What conversations am I thinking I'm going to have today? With whom? And just reflect on that for a minute. What do I need to be? What level am I at with them? How can I build better rapport? How can I build better trust? How can I be there for that person to create a deep connection, to create a moment of transformation, of going from just a successful or uh, a relationship that is founded on good foundation. What can I go to a point of helping that person transform? How can I help them in understanding their significance, how they can step further, how they can step up, wherever they're at, get the change they need, get the moment of where they're at to where they want to be, help them on that path. So today we covered the 5 listening levels that I've looked at during my career. There's many models out there, but this is what I've seen, and it goes a little bit more than just saying there's 3 levels. There's listening and then 2 levels of active listening. What I've found is there's really these 5 levels of being disconnected, of being aware, of growing into engagement, of growing into this really the first level of active listening, and then empowered, being empathetic, being empathic. Oh man, a long day. Empathic. There's empathic. Be empathic today. Be influential is the next level. You can't get to influential. Everybody wants to be significant, but you have to build connection. You have to build rapport. You have to identify in the moment sometimes in a sales conversation where people are at. But you have to set up the environment. And as leaders, as people who are humans, who care about others, let's just get it down, and want to help others with some issue in their lives, to have a better life, to be more spiritual, to be a better producer in the team, whatever the goal of that other person, to help them realize how to get there. But they first have to be heard. And I think that's the biggest challenge today, is we're not listening, but we're deciding really, how can we divide? What are we doing to divide people? So instead of dividing people, what are we doing to bring people together? My name is Joe Dukevich, Crayon Leadership Growth Circle. If you would like more information, feel free to visit my YouTube channel. Put a like on it, subscribe. There's more coming on this and other topics to get you ready to be growing and being at the table, having a voice. Talk soon. Bye now.